Going live again, no music. The cameras are all mismatched, but I had to just completely rebuild them for some reason, and I have zero idea as to why.
Have the
Today I'm
cameras
playing Kiddos. No, I'm kidding.
have the cameras done the mash?
Basically. So what actually happened is when I plugged them back in, all of their resolutions changed to the full size, and I had no
Oh.
idea how to find you guys because they were edited custom sized like Discord cameras. So like it's window captures that I resync, but all of the window captures went up to like 20,000 pixels, when on average they're like 30. So I had no idea how to fix that, so I just had to rebuild it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get the music going and everything back up.
Yeah.
No
Let's
worries. Thanks
kill
for all
some
your hard
shit.
work, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No problem.
absolutely.
You are very appreciated, Doku.
Well, I appreciate it.
You are more appreciated than Sophie.
You know what, Rain?
I appreciate Sophie. I didn't
Aw.
say that.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate Sophie. I just appreciate Doku more.
Ha!
Kittis had just completely disappeared from screen, and now she's back. All right. All I did was move to a different room, so apparently it's cursed. But yes, good
No,
Apparently
times.
it's
what's
cursed.
cursed is Rain's searcher history.
I won't say no.
Yeah, because we know you'd be lying.
What's most broken D&D build?
No, that I just figure out on my own, like genuinely.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't look that shit
How
up. I'm
though?
just like, what would be really fucked up to play?
Hmm.
See, I'm torn. I was always going to play like Blood Hunter for the next character, but I do want to do the Sorcerer Paladin multi-class for the next character.
Yeah,
I think
Ooh.
for the next campaign, just because
that'd be
it
fun.
is such a good combo.
It is.
It's like you can
Although
expend
I
sorcery
might have
points
a
to get spell slots to then do Divine Smite. It's the best thing.
another idea for you, but I'll discuss that with you off stream.
Okay.
Ooh. This is nice music. Ooh.
Because I have an idea, and I think you'd like it a lot.
Would it break the character a ridiculous amount?
Yes.
Then yes.
At least all of my ideas do. I've genuinely. So you know how like y'all come to me when you need help building an extremely powerful character?
Yeah.
I go to other people when I need to build a normal character. Because at this point it's become such like first nature to go as broken as humanly possible that it genuinely takes me longer to sit down and think about how to not break the character than it does on how to break the character.
That's
Fair
funny.
enough. Yeah. See, a lot of times when it's me, it's okay. This what would be fun to RP as,
Right.
or what
Which
do
like
I
that's
just
why
want
I
to play?
build. That's like actually because before I started this campaign, I would go in with broken characters, but not nearly as broken as any of the three I've played in this campaign.
So we're saying it's Sophie's fault.
No, I'm saying it's all three of you because I specifically built my character to be so ungodly good at combat that y'all don't have to be.
Yay!
The only job for you is stay alive.
Sharice is
So,
living her best life on that
She's
shit.
just having
Yeah.
fun over there.
speaking
I'm
of
here for
staying
it.
alive,
I'm for it.
Here.
as time freezes, a hooded figure kind of comes up, and he pulls back his hood, and there's a hat with a small feather in it that he pulls out and begins writing. And he took your name, um, and I'm drafting out your contract. My name is Fate. How do you do? And he'll kind of bump up his hat a little bit. More like a fedora, if you will. And it's just funny because you think he's very humanistic, almost bureaucratic, kind of dressed nicely underneath this like double layered cloak.
I knew he had a fucking cloak.
He's a gentleman.
It's
Oh, you know exactly where I'm going with this, Harry.
like it's quite a pain to
I
have to
think
come
I
back
do.
to this area again so soon, as I've got a lot on my plate. So, you agree to be the anchor between realms.
Of course I do.
Seems strange for a mortal to want to take on this job. What made you decide to challenge judgment?
I mean, you're aware of what the Oak Shadows have been doing for generations. The tribe of stone giants from Valk.
Of course, I signed the
Yeah.
original contract.
I'm here to keep that going. They've fallen.
So, you are to be the arbiter. So, what this will entail is you will leave a piece of you behind here at all times. Should your presence be here, the barrier will be up and connection between worlds exist. However, you may lay claim to this area of power that connects both Shadowfell and Feywild to the mortal plane. Now, you will be fated to this, and he kind of pulls out another book and a third arm, almost kind of, it looks like a hand's just kind of floating, flipping through pages. Like, you have a busy schedule as you are still fated to do much more. So, yes, a piece of you shall remain. The barrier, though, will not hold while you are unpresent. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? And he just continues to flip through a book that just has your name on it.
So effectively, what you're saying is my body will continue, a piece of my soul will stay behind. While I inhabit the piece of the soul, the barrier is up. While I inhabit the body, the barrier is down.
Opposite. The barrier will be up when you are physically present. When your soul remains, the land
Well,
will be
right, but I
cold.
mean my soul, or a piece of my soul stays with the chair. So when I'm with the chair, the barrier is up. When I'm without the chair, the barrier is down.
That is correct.
Okay.
So, you are taking over the mantle from your family, who is... they're gone. Into the void they get. Alright. Now, are you familiar with the Svessia wheel? Do you have any questions?
I have so many questions, but not enough time for any of them.
That's a
So
good
give
answer
me the
for
cliff
me.
notes.
Cliff notes is, you're here, you stay here, you do job, here's your contract. And he holds out a quill and a what looks to be a wrapped up contract that goes on, and on the other end, as it unwraps, it literally goes for miles.
Okay. Leah just in response she says, "Ink or blood?"
Ink, heathen. And he hands you the quill again.
You never know. You never know.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
And she signed the bottom of the contract.
So you'll find that as you reach, you actually move out of yourself. So a stone image of you that is tied with a finger pointing up and a finger pointing down is remaining in the chair, and you kind of reached for the quill instinctively, and you fell out of yourself, almost visually.
Gotcha.
And you sign. It's like perfect, and the scroll completely wraps up, but it takes like an awkward amount of time, like 4 seconds of just rolling back in at high speeds. It turns into this golden like light and shimmer of celestial magic, and he kind of taps it against an imaginary desk and flings it off, and then it basically just disappears into the archway that kind of is the entryway to this point. He's like, this land is made in your image, in your mind. You were a desert, rock, mountainous creature in your mind and where you grew up, so it is a reflection of your mindset. So, should the landscape change, it will be solely based off of you. Now, you are fated to do more, so please carry on your legacy. I do not want to have to see you again for millennia. Now, keep in mind you are mortal, so I will be back in time, I'm sure, upon your death, and we will talk about the arbitration of your land eventually. So, as one of the fates, I am signing off to you now. Adieu. And he begins to walk away, and a door with giant golden marble lions is just appeared there, and it actually shares a space with Cedar, as she is like just non-corporeal, and he just begins to walk through the door. Do you say or do anything more?
Leah's just gonna look at Fate, and then look at her three companions, and then look specifically at Gale. She goes, "Well, looks like I now have two purposes in life. Purpose one, continue my family's legacy." And as she stands up from the chair, leaving the stone image behind, she goes, "Purpose two, keeping you safe at any and all costs." And she walks next to the party.
And the moment Fate leaves through his door and you walk towards your party, time begins to flow at a normal pace, and now just a stone image of you sitting upon the throne, hands leveled out to the actual arm bars, and the only color to the sandstone is the red thread that is latching both of your arms to the chair. And upon your lap sits a stone scroll as well.
Okay.
And that's what you see in the throne image now. And this is kind of now registered celestially as your domain. So it kind of belongs to you, much like Judgment was trying to become the anchor based off of what they said. Like, there was supposed to be an anchor here. You've kind of taken upon that mantle now. You have no idea what that means or entails because it was a very long contract. And mortals don't usually occupy basically space like this, but it is a first. So you are here, your party begins to awaken. So you guys see Leah sit, and now Leah is slowly walking towards you.
And I'm gonna say, as when Leah approaches the party, like when she gets there, she walks up to Gale, and she just wraps him in the tightest hug, and just whispers in his ear, "Would you rather I stay on the throne or continue with you?"
I'd rather you follow the path you know is yours, rather than just stick with me for me. Of course, I want you by my side. But if your path, for some reason, calls you elsewhere, I'll understand.
She's gonna look at you. She kind of pulls back from the hug a little bit. She looks at you with these gorgeous multicolored tears in her eyes. And I'm gonna ask you, Harry, highs or lows?
Okay, highs.
Okay. That is a 54. So she pulls back from the hug. Still with these tears welling up in her eyes. She kind of slowly nods her head. She goes, "Oh, okay. I know what I need to do." And she kind of she pushes the three of you on. And as the three of you start to walk towards the doorway, which one, if any of you, look back?
Gale.
This is current. Kiddes looks back, but she kind of reaches over, trying to take the book from you.
Okay. So I will say, for starters, the book is not physically on her person at this moment. You can imagine it's in the bag.
Can I take your bag?
And
You don't need
so as the
to
three
take
of
the
y'all
bag.
look back, you just watch her walk over to the throne, set a hand on the top of the throne, whisper something very so softly that none of y'all can hear it, and then she turns around and keeps walking with y'all.
Aw.
The heart attack you just gave me, Rain. Oh my gosh.
I'm using my new DM powers.
Speaking
How
of,
dare you?
speaking
How dare
of
you do that?
heart attacks.
My blood pressure.
Can you all roll perception checks?
Mm-hmm.
All of us. Okay.
Yay.
Including me?
Yeah, you're all there.
Oh my gosh.
Perception. 19.
15.
Perception. 23.
16.
Both Gale and Kittis kind of pause for a second as they hear the chittering of what sounds like exoskeletons. So I don't know if you guys are super familiar with camel spiders, but they actually make a chittering sound as they run because their exoskeletons are actually bouncing against itself. And it's a pretty distinct smell. Sorry, desert dweller here. You're welcome for that. So you guys both hear the sounds of exoskeletons chittering.
Fucking hate this.
And as you guys walk, and do you guys do anything with that information?
New pet!
No.
Hey guys, it sounds like spiders. We should probably do something about that.
Sounds like spiders.
Maybe the spiders here aren't under Lol's control, and I can have my own spiders that don't get affected by her.
Kittis, please do not bring spiders around me.
So
I'll
you,
bring them around you.
so
Gale
Gale
is
and
also going to
Kittis
sort of hover slightly, so he's off the ground.
okay.
When Cedar hears Gale say "sounds like spiders," she's up, she's hovering. She's like, nope, heck no.
And
Also, I've literally raised my... I'm literally sitting on my chair, like, with my legs underneath me. I don't like spiders at all.
so here's what happens. You see Kittis and Gale are like, it kind of sounds like spiders, and Cedar just flight response begins to fly up. However, the farther away from the ground she gets, her shadow does not shrink in size. It actually gets larger and larger as hundreds of black arms stretch out from the ground and begin going straight at Cedar in this mass pile of just arms floating from the ground, going straight towards her.
And in just as a split second response, Leah's gonna look around. Is this happening with anyone else's shadow?
No, they are going straight for Cedar.
Okay.
This class
Leah's going to
always-
attempt to jump right in the way.
Okay.
this
With
maybe
1
here at the
HP,
base.
good call. You get pummeled, like a wave of crashing water just hits you. However, they are moving around you, and you begin to just get stuck in this ball as they kind of squeeze you in, but pay you almost no mind. Roll a strength save for me, just in general, to see where you can navigate with.
27.
Okay.
With rain of spiders.
You are not completely stuck, but you find it very difficult to move, and you are suspended off the ground as you try to intercept.
Alright, then Leah's gonna do one more thing if you'll allow.
Okay. I might do action orientation because this is a skill challenge, but I will let you know
Okay.
when it happens. But what do you want to do?
Leah is going to use Channel Divinity, and she is specifically going to use. See, it is Dreadful Aspect. Any creature of my choice within 30 feet has to make a Wisdom save. On a failure, they're frightened of me for the next minute.
Okay. What's the save?
17.
It's just started raining. I can just hear all...
You see one of the hundreds of arms kind of turn and look at you, and for the first time the hand actually opens, and it's an eyeball in the center of the hand opens and stares at you, and you can actually see tears form from its eyes as it jets out of the mass of pile of the hundreds of arms, and you realize that each one of these is its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Cedar, you used yours to move. Gale, is there anything you would like to try to do?
So how far away is Leah from the party now?
Leah is about 15 feet off the ground.
Okay.
So she's probably about 20 to 25 feet away from you currently.
12 feet. Okay, that's absolutely fine. In fact, that's actually kind of good because I'm going to try and give a bit of healing.
Okay.
Is it by touch
where
or
is-
is it like a remote healing?
It would be remote healing. You said within 25 feet.
And what's the spell you're using?
It's not a spell. Channel Divinity, Preserve
Oh,
Life,
okay.
40 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking one thing.
Because it's a range of 30 feet, so I wanted to just double check what the range was, but if it's within 30.
I'm
That's
just wondering if you have to see your person, that's all. Because I don't think Divinity has. I think because you're using it,
Doesn't specify.
yeah, it doesn't. Some spells clarify. This one doesn't. You were choosing your deity to kind of help you reach your goal, so essentially the
Yeah, it
Divinity.
just-
Yeah, so it reaches. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help qualify the massive arms and hands that are floating right now are completely
Mhm.
solid black and obstructing Leah. So you can use Channel
That's fair.
Divinity to do it, but you can't physically see Leah right now because it's almost like they're under a water or sea of these black hands.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is
And
Well played.
he's not gonna fly or move because that's gonna be a bad choice, I think. Can it might not work because that might be a skill. But is he able to see just without doing any proper checks, just looking around? Is there anything else coming, or is it just the arms reaching up for Cedar?
Just the arms reaching
At
out.
this point.
Roll a perception.
Okay, cool. Let's put my feet down now. Perception. That's just +4. 18.
Okay, the base of the hole in the ground. There do seem to be spider webs.
No.
And I'm putting the feet back up.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Okay. I'll relay this information to Killis, and that's my turn.
Okay, Kidus, you get an action. You see these hundreds of
Okay.
arms just bypass Leah and go straight towards Cedar.
Oh, the
I'm
spider webs!
just trying to figure out basically, is it Lowell's trying to pull us down? She's like, right now she's having a working theory that they're trying to pull us somewhere. Rather, because like she saw that they're not seeming to do damage to Leah. Leah is breaching in over Mind Link like she was earlier. And so she's trying to figure out basically their origin and where they're gonna take us.
Apologies, sorry I got
Is that
interrupted there. Go ahead.
She's trying to figure out their basically kind of like their origin and where they're trying to take us. Because right now she's having a working theory that they're trying to take us somewhere.
Yeah. So, do you do anything with your round?
That's what I'm trying to see. Like, what could she do to figure that out?
It's up to you. I mean, you see them. You know they're physical. They are trapping Leah just by the sheer amount of them. But through the mind link, you know that Leah is not in any pain or is completely unconscious. One of the two, because you can't physically see her. But you do see the hands just dashing through the sky. You heard the spider webs. Gale, or you heard the spiders chitter. Gale had screamed spider webs, but you would also potentially be able to discern that they're all individual entities as well, based off of the fact that Leah, you see one that was scared and retreated, So there is like they're individually targetable, but there is a mass of them.
Okay, so hold on. Sorry, I realized I have to do a save thing. 'Cause I just remembered, but did succeed, so sweet. She can still function, and she's on 2 successes now. So then Hittis is going to kind of walk over to the spider webs and try to kind of lift one up.
Roll a Dex saving throw.
Figured. Dex saving. Dirty 20.
Okay. As you pick up the web, it almost explodes out in like this muck, and you manage to kind of dodge it, but you see just if you're familiar with like tarantula webbing, it went from just webs that were kind of like strings to just this complete field, like almost like a tarantula den entrance of just pure spider webbing. And you manage to kind of dodge and put yourself in a position that you are not stuck by it, but it is difficult terrain around you now.
Okay.
Cedar.
Yes.
Would you like to bother rolling, let's say 200 strength saving throws?
No, we'd be here for so long, and I don't have a modifier, so
I mean, it's just
So many dice.
200 d20s maybe.
I feel like if I tried to do that, even digitally, it would like make my computer explode.
Well, I want to see if we can do. Hold on, I want to try something. Rolling room.
Oh my gosh.
You wanna do 200 d20? Well, sorry, 199 d20s because Leah got rid of one.
Yeah, come on, let's be specific about this.
I don't think rolling room is allowing me to roll 200 d20. I typed it in and it's not pulling up anything.
See if 199 work.
100. Okay, I'm gonna first
Doesn't
try
work, then I'll
100.
just. Oh,
It actually worked!
oh my gosh.
So your natural ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, outweighed your 2 natural 20s. That is hilarious. I love the fact that this worked.
Yep, that's about right. That sounds about right. Sorry, by the way, I just want you to know, I can feel this under my skin, like under the first layer of skin, and I wish I was a reptile so that I could get rid of that layer of skin, because I don't want it anymore.
So you see all of the arms freeze for a moment, and there are probably hundreds of hands that have grabbed on successfully to Cedar, and the others kind of peel out almost like a blooming flower as they kind of fall back to the ground, about 100 of them. The 100 that have Cedar begin to just pull her straight into the ground at such force that you'll notice that Leah, as it comes down, Cedar, as the only other real solid mass, pummels into you, and now you are both falling down into the hole. They are not grappling you. You are just being pulled down by the fact that Cedar was pulled down on top of you into a small space. Does that make sense?
Can Leah?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Leah's turn?
I will let you take a rotation, yep.
Okay. Leah, upon impact, Leah is going to go. She's just gonna like scream out in pain and go, "For the love of the gods, you're always such a pain in the ass," and just fully like horse kick Cedar out of the way.
Okay. Roll a strength with advantage.
Snap her in half.
Natural 20.
Okay. You kick her, but the only thing that moves is you as you land on your back right at the threshold of the hole in the ground that she's being pulled into. So you expected to horse kick her away, and your strength, you pushed yourself out of the basically arm pile as she begins kind of still being
Damage
pulled
did I
in.
just take? I'm getting nat 20 horse kicked.
Nothing, because
thank goodness.
you were basically being buffered by them. So that force was translated directly to Leah, but I'm not going to make you take fall damage for 15 feet because there's cobwebs on the floor now.
As she gets dragged in, you can just hear her like kicking and screaming. Like you can hear the tearing sounds of her claws trying to like get at least some of the hands away as she gets dragged through.
And just as Leah hits the ground 15 feet away, as she has just kicked herself out of the way, you specifically, Cedar, like just you, are gonna hear in like a broken voice, you're just gonna hear, "I'm sorry. I finally started to care, and I tried."
I guess it's Gale in rotation.
Yep.
That broke me.
Gail, what you doing, bud? Anything in particular?
Oh, this is gonna break me.
I'm just watching and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I think I'm gonna hold my action and movement just for an opportunity to just drag one of them away.
You're gonna try to like pull. You're just gonna try to like pull the arms out, or out of like just pull them away.
If I see an opportunity, yes, I'm gonna try and sort of pull them away from all this shit.
Okay, but you said you're holding for a moment.
Yes, because I don't know what's.
Okay.
I think myself and Gal don't really know what's happening, what effects could happen. He's just being cautious, and like me, Gal does not like spiders.
All right, kiddos, would you like to do something?
Cannonball!
What's that?
Cannonball!
Cannonball? Are you going in with?
Basically, she's just like, well, we can't get her out. And they're obviously taking her somewhere. Cannonball!
Okay.
She really said, I'm going with Mama!
So you see Kiddis, without a shadow of a doubt in her mind, just grab on to one of the arms and just get sucked down into the hole. And as she actually breaches first, because Cedar's still kind of in the air, above by a couple of feet, Cedar just grabs Kiddis just grabs one of the arms and just goes under.
Alright. Are we back at Leah?
There's Gale action, and then potentially Cedar breaching. And then it'll be Leah. Do you do anything with your held action?
So it's at this point it's Gale and Leah on the surface, right?
And then Cedar is in this ball of hands that are just pulling her down. Yeah, she's not through just yet until you go.
Yay, my character who's touch-averse.
Okay, Gale is gonna sort of compose himself. Just okay. Just webs. He's gonna jump down.
And Leah's gonna. I know this is out of turn order, but Leah's going to, as she sees Gale heading for basically this inky black portal, she's gonna run and just tackle him as she falls into the portal with him, but attempting to like basically encase his body so she takes the brunt force of the blow.
Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I love
Leah
that.
Shield.
Leah Shield. So even before Cedar has fully breached the threshold, or the event horizon, essentially, we'll say, you see Kiddis go, and then Gale follow, and then to protect Gale, you see Leah just wrap herself around him, and all three of you fall, and it's almost like a drop of fluid. Kiddis, roll a perception for me.
Okay. Perception. Okay, that's 21.
Perfect. So not only do you understood the moment you went through, like a drop of black ichor liquid into nothingness, that this was the same exact, we'll call it magic or energy, that you've used multiple times with your mirror. When the mirror becomes kind of a liquid form and you're able to speak to the other side, this is that same exact effect of just black ripple, essentially. And as you kind of go through as well, as a self-proclaimed god, you feel the mirror crack again, much like it did when Tempest entered. Or, well, what you guys
Not
have
Tempest,
known
but-
as the pure elemental of Tempest entered. Still don't know exactly who he is, but your assumption of. Cedar will then follow suit, be pulled through, and the hole closes above you, and you are all swimming through darkness. Forgot my
What?
water, but that's okay.
Oh.
So you fall for what feels like minutes in just pure darkness. You can't breathe, but you don't seem to need to. Your first breath you take, you are in pitch black. There seems to be ground, but it's glass under your feet, like a glass bridge. All three, Gale, Kittis, and Leah, open your eyes, and on the ground in front of you is Cedar's lifeless body, pale,
Okay.
like it's been there for days.
I'm sorry, my what?
No.
And this is your first experience of just being kind of awake and aware, and you can see your bodies and her body that are illuminated in light, but there is nothing but darkness around you for miles and miles. What do?
Gale is immediately gonna head over to Cedar's body and just try and do something.
Do you want to do like a medicine check?
Oh yeah, I think that might not be a bad idea.
Conscious to do anything, so.
23. I couldn't do mathematics then for a second.
No worries. So with that sort of medicine check, you know that no medicine that you can do would be worthwhile. She seems like she's probably been gone, just with the blood pooling at the bottom of her body, from what you can tell, for a couple of days now. And do you try any sort of magic?
Yeah. Okay. Cedar, please be alive, please. Just... What can I do? I'm genuinely just looking through my spell. I'm at third. Thing is, I can't do Revivify because I haven't got any of the components for it, I don't think. Wait, hang on a minute. Kiddis, do you have any diamonds? No, that's within the last minute. Ignore me. Oh shit! I'm gonna try and cast a Cure Wounds. I know it's not gonna do much, but I just wanted to try something.
Are components for cure wounds?
There are none. Or no costly
No
components.
cost. Yeah, it's just a creature.
It's just
you
burning
touch.
spells,
Mhm.
but yeah. I mean that's 6 plus 7. That's 13 points of healing. I don't know if that's gonna do. Like I said, she's been dead for a couple of days.
Yeah, so you push this healing energy into Cedar, and nothing happens. I mean, it's like pushing energy into a corpse. And so you just kind of repeatedly well this energy up as you just cure wounds, cure wounds, cure wounds, almost like you're performing CPR as this energy is just pumping out of you that you're trying to put into Cedar.
Gale is going to try one more thing, if that's all right.
Yeah, I mean everyone is just kind of watching you for now.
At this point, Gale is pretty much weeping. Tears are just streaming down his face. And he takes a second. He remembers Aquafenia's words. The next time that he cries to reach out, and he's going to attempt to reach out to her for divine intervention.
Okay. Roll a performance with advantage.
I certainly will do.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, with advantage. Okay.
Kidis is going to kind of look around to try to figure out where we are.
Okay, it's a 19 with advantage.
Okay. You feel like a warm water wrap around your body and kind of massage you almost, like you're in like a hydro bed if you've ever used one of those. And you can kind of feel the energy of Aquafina just kind of wrapped around you. And she kind of taps Cedar's body and then looks at you, and you just kind of hear the words of someone screaming under the water in a pool that just says, "Death has a cost. Pay it." And what is Kidis doing?
This is now just starting to look around to try to figure out where we are.
You
Failed
are.
her.
Is my pseudo drag okay?
You.
That's your concern!
I have so many concerns.
You.
But I want to know if it's okay.
Roll an investigation or perception, whatever you feel
Me?
like doing. Kidis, she's looking around.
Okay, I was confused.
You're
there.
dead!
She's like.
I know.
she's like, Gil's got it. And starts looking around. Did you want to do an investigation or a perception?
Investigation 26.
Okay. 26. Roll an Arcana on top.
My heart rate.
All right. Arcana 14.
14. With a 14, you recognize that you're in someone else's domain.
Okay.
You have no idea who or why or what, but the glass field, the basically feeling of walking on a glass playing field, you are intimately familiar with because you just got out of combat with the same exact effect. So you are in a powerful being's domain. However, you are not familiar or can piece together what it is based off of the investigation, because aside from the feeling of ground underneath your feet, there is absolutely nothing except for darkness for miles. Is Leah taking any action?
Let's see, I'll say Leah is going to slowly walk over towards Gale and Cedar. And seeing Gale try to pump all these different healing spells into Cedar is going to slowly remove his hands from her body and place her own hands down and try and reality shift a reality where Cedar did not die, whatever happened.
Let me see something. No. You feel intimately familiar with the attempt, and I'm not going to make you roll with it because the clue that I'm giving you is you try, and you are in roll an Arcana. Let me see how much information I give you.
Okay. 13.
You can't tell. You just know that it was absolute failure. That you couldn't even bother to reach out to another plane of existence because the connection just wasn't there at all.
Okay.
But with a 13, you can't exactly tell why. Gale, you're up.
All right, death has a price. I'll pay it. Just bring her back, please.
All right.
Name your price.
You hear a voice appear behind you guys. Well, now, I may not take as low as copper, but gold here and there is nice.
I look to see who's speaking.
And you see a very dapper gentleman dressed in all white with a white and red pinstriped vest, a little badge on his hat that says captain, and he's just got a little captain's hat, kind of like a C, like a someone who is a ship. You see a ship captain's hat with a little thing that says captain atop the top. He has black shoes and a black belt with a silver buckle, and he's just very clean pressed.
Does Kidis recognize him? At
You've
all?
never seen him before in your life. And
Who are
he just-
you?
Who am I? I have a great deal many names. Depending on if you want to pronounce it correctly or not. Who are you? Most people who come here don't believe bring their bodies with. In fact,
Look,
your
I
friend.
don't have time for theatrics, okay?
Well, you should always enjoy a little bit of theatrics. I mean, what is life without death? What is death without being reborn?
You're not doing this to me right now. Just... What are you doing here? Are you here to help us? What?
It is my job. It is my job to garner light to all lost souls. Whether you're forced down here or not, occasionally I just pluck them from the river and put them upon my boat so they can begin their journey. That's my job. What is your job? What are you doing here? You're the one who's out of place here, not me. Sonny boy, and he kind of pats your cheek a little bit.
We're in Hades, aren't we?
Not at all, not at all. Because you brought your bodies along, you're in limbo. The only one who has moved on so far is your friend down there. And as he kind of casts his hands, you see a green light slowly falling down into a black cloud. And he kind of indicates that that's Cedar.
Yes, well, I think we'd all appreciate her coming back now.
There's no coming back. There's never any coming back. If you wish to be reborn, you have to face judgment, but unfortunately, judgment has been eternally thrown into prison for abandoning her post at the gates. So, we're a little out of whack and busy down here. Oh, and he kind of looks up, and there's a green light that kind of passes by you and starts beginning to fall, and he kind of grabs it and places it in a jar.
Okay.
Oh, we were brought down here.
You weren't brought down here, you came down here willingly.
I did. She didn't.
She was dragged here.
Well, yeah.
Against her will. She was alive.
Well, when you tie yourself to the entities down here, I mean, the whole purpose of power down here and to get a bigger domain is to collect your souls. And her soul was collected. She paid her dues, and she will be added to the domain of whoever she bartered a deal with.
Right, so,
Oh.
where do we find her? So I can barter for her back.
I mean, you
Oh,
could probably
no, I
catch
don't-
up. There's still time. And he kind of looks down, and again, you just see this green light getting a little farther and farther away.
And that's her. That's Cedar.
Yep. For now.
What do you mean for now?
Look, all I do, you're shooting the messenger here, buddy. I died and they're like, yo, my man, would you love a job? And I said, I would love a job. What can I do? And they said, well, you can imagine your perfect boat and you can sail it forever. And so that's what I do. I got my
Rain,
steamboat
will you get mad?
and I sail.
Hmm?
And what'd you say?
Hold on.
So you're the one who's out of place, coming at me all upset. I even said, your entity reached out to me. She asked me what I needed, and all I said was you pay the cost of death. Then your friend's soul will no longer be there. I told you already, boy, don't you listen. I said it's cheap as 2 coppers, but a golds are appreciated.
Kenneth pulls out, she pulls out a piece of gold and walks forward.
Okay.
Hand.
You hand it to him directly?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what customs you belong to, but I don't know if you're trying to be offensive. But first you come down here with your bodies, making my job. You know how hard it is to maintain this place? I don't like it. But then you come, oh, this and that, and hooting and hollering, and then you try to hand me money directly. It's not for me. It's for her.
The eyes in the mouth.
To her, doesn't her soul just pass on?
Look, your friend was fighting tooth and nail when she died. Am I right? Does that sound like her? So no.
Yeah.
She didn't go directly to where she needed to go because she did not consent. So she is lost. She gets lost, I find her. That's the deal.
If I give this to her, she won't go through the bargain yet.
You give them to her, you pay the cost, I can collect her. I owe Aqua a favor. Me and her go way back. I mean, we go hand in hand, right? She gives me a place to ride, and I ride all day and night. So we're pretty harmonious, me and Aqua. It's the only reason why I'm talking to you. So what it be, little miss?
I just tries to give the gold coin to Peter. Toss it down to her.
You toss it down and just kind of clinks on the ground, and you just hear an audible sigh.
Gail's gonna kneel down and just put them on the eyes.
And he kind of clears his throat. And you see this pale blue river that this green light falls to. And then you see this beautifully ornate steamboat, paddle boat with 2 giant red wheels on the side, and Cedar's green light seems to land directly on the steamboat, and it begins to kind of chug down the river. Now, allowed me to collect your friend. My favor has been done. What'll it be for y'all? You gonna stay here in limbo for a while and think about your deeds?
Think about our deeds.
I mean, that's what limbo's for. You tried to die with your bodies. It just doesn't work that way. So all you amalgamations gotta go someplace. So we send you limbies.
How do we get out?
You could die. It's the easiest way.
How do we get out alive?
Oh, how we got out alive. I want to go back home. We shouldn't have come here in the first place. You don't seek death and then regret it and try to get back out. You can come with me.
I don't want to go back to the surface. I just need to keep my body for a while.
I prefer to keep myself alive.
I mean, what is alive to you is the question. Do you have any idea of what you're made of? Because you look like meat sacks to me. That one's a meat popsicle.
To be honest, no. I don't know what I'm made of.
Then why are you complaining about what's alive and what's not alive? You don't know where you live. You don't even know where you exist. You asking me where you are. You need to break down your confounded notions of what is and what isn't. The rules have changed, my boy.
Because we're in limbo?
I put you here. Tried to die with a body. See, she gets it. And he kind of points to Kittis as she's just giggling. Out of curiosity or insanity, he's not sure, but...
Nobody ever is sure with that one.
Look. I got time to keep. And he kind of pulls out a stopwatch and puts it back up. And I'm about out of time for y'all. So I'll extend the deal. Well, go ahead.
No, please, go ahead.
No, go for it. I want to know what you do.
Nope. Nope.
I thought I was the British one. Jesus Christ.
Oh no, this is tactical. This is not pleasantries.
Oh, right.
Go ahead.
So I offer, again, for those who don't listen very well, you can come with me. So can't bring your body.
Leah's gonna walk up, gonna slap down 2 gold, walk up to Cedar's body and just whisper at where her ears are, "You fucking owe me."
It is had already tossed a coin, so she kind of just pulls out her one last coin for herself and gets on the boat. Hopefully she doesn't quite know how to get out of her own body. I mean, she's technically done it before, but that was not on purpose, so she doesn't really know how to get out of her body, so she's like, well, he can figure that out.
So he motions. So what he does is he motions to the mouth. So you pull out a gold you pulled out a gold coin and he motions to your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, this is not the weirdest thing.
And so Kittis puts the coin in her mouth, and you see a giant scythe from behind her lop off her head, and it hits her body and head hit the ground and roll, and a green light begins to sink down into the river.
And Leah will pop the coins in her mouth and just drop to one knee.
I get the feeling that you want to be last so your friend doesn't have to see anything. And he kind of looks up at Gale.
I'll be right behind you.
Ah, so you do like to watch, my boy. And he kind of summons a scythe and pulls upward as he crouches next to Leah, and Leah's lifeless body falls to the ground and her head rolls with the coin in her mouth, and her essence begins to float down. I had a feeling you didn't want to have to see that, but maybe you have a question for me. He kind of scratches his nose and looks up at you. So what'll it be?
He looks at the captain, takes a gold out. At this point, I'm just too desensitized. I just wanted her to go first so she wouldn't worry about me too much. Just fucking get on with it. And he puts it in his mouth, closes his eyes.
And you hear the whooshing of the scythe as it spins around, and he just slashes through your body, severing you in two from the shoulder to the hip. And all 4 of you wake up to the sound of a steam whistle going hoot hoot, and you hear the coal-fired motor just as the paddles splash up against the water, and you all kind of feel the gentle rocking, and the pale blue light is the only light in this area, as you were on a steamboat, a steam river boat on the river Styx. and all 4 of you come to.
Same time?
Yeah, about the same time. You actually come to first.
Hey, Doku,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shoot you a very quick message.
Did Philo come with? 'Cause I realized I haven't kept track of Philo.
Just sitting.
He's not in the bag. He was outside the bag when we went to the judgment fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my pseudo dragon's just sitting in the boat.
We'll resolve that here momentarily.
See, to answer your
just,
earlier question, Harry, I had so many concerns. I just went with the little one because that seemed more manageable than the big one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, really? Okay.
No, there were just so many concerns at once. I had to pick one.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, dragon that has the soul of Cedar's dead mum, that's a good priority to have.
I mean, by the way, Kiddos was like looking around because, by the way, I failed a roll on her trauma response.
Oh.
That's
She saw her.
why.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, poor
Currently, I have 2
thing.
successful and 2 failed rolls. So, woohoo! Next roll will determine if it goes up or down.
So, what you guys will notice, and I'll get the map up here, updated here in just a second for some visuals. I'm just going to give you guys some theater of the mind to work with for a second.
We're in Hades. This is fun.
Is not Hades. Hades is actually its own domain.
I know. I mean, I saw Hades on the big map thing,
Perfect.
and I'm kind of a huge ancient Greek myth nerd. So here we go.
For you, out of game knowledge, so we'll cross the fingers really quick. The Celestial Wheel had Hades there, so there is a lower domain and a higher set of domains on the Celestial Wheel that will connect to. Essentially, Hades can connect to Shadowfell. You just have to go down another layer. So you guys have gone down to Shadowfell from the mortal plane. And the next connection point is, if you wanted to, you can reach one of the lower realms, which could be Hades, or one of the higher realms, which you have to go through Feywild, right? Because those are kind of the creational planes where the gods reside. And then there's bureaucracy around it, but there's the wheel now, because the world has been reshaped from the tree that you guys have always known, because of your actions and everything going on and the imbalance. So if you wanted to go to Hades, we can definitely go there. But very rarely do you travel from one to the other without some form of extreme amount of power. So the fact that our beholder friend was able to drag from the mortal realm judgment to the abyss for eternal punishment would have taken an insane amount of power. Stupid amount of power. So, yeah. That's just for out-of-game knowledge for you, because I love the lore of this world and I just want to share it with you guys.
It's awesome. You made a really cool. So cool. Sorry, there's so much adrenaline going through my system right now.
I do love that Kiddos was the first to willingly die.
My bones are cold.
Yeah.
It's like hold on.
What?
How many times? 1, 2. Okay, so there's 1. First time, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the 6th time she died.
Oh, poor thing. Oh,
Gosh, it would be, yeah.
Yikes. Okay. Wow, the terrifying implications.
No wonder she was the first to just jump on him and die. Holy crap.
He's
My
very
gosh.
used to the conclusion of it at this point.
I'm trying to find a really cool image. I just can't seem to get one.
No problem.
My Google Foo is failing me now.
I know Google Foo.
But so I'm like, I do love that. She's just like, oh, okay. She's like, I would like to keep my body because I'd like to keep my stuff. I'll have to go pick up my stuff and go later.
about right.
Was that Kiddis's main priority? Not, I like my body. I like the stuff that's on the body.
Yes.
Have you seen my shoes? They're amazing.
Okay, not necessarily her shoes
like,
are
I just got
amazing, but
this
her
outfit.
outfit at one point. Her
Hey
outfit
guys,
is
I
gorgeous.
just got this Gucci sliders.
And I have a lot of stuff in my bag that I like. I don't think you can take
I like
it
the
from your
headcanon that the pseudo dragon is just sitting on the boat, like, like just no idea what's going on.
Dragon's
Just walking around
vibing.
eating from the food stores. It's just fully burrowed into a loaf of bread.
Would there be food stores in the underworld? Let's be honest.
No, I'm saying our boat that we left back before the judgment fight.
Oh, we got too many boats. We got too many boats.
Too many boats. But yeah, so
That's the episode title right there.
oh my goodness. So
Too many boats, and we all die.
just let us know when to start up again.
TPK. Sorry.
No.
Technically, this wasn't TPK.
Technically, yes, but it wasn't in battle.
Technically, it was group suicide. That's different.
3/4 group suicide. Cedar went kicking and screaming. Cedar was like,
This is Kiddis's second suicide attempt.
oh my gosh.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
ready to put a trigger warning on this.
Alright.
We
But
might
yes,
need to.
so,
we might have to
how
do
do I do that?
VOD.
Cedar,
Now I
you
need to figure that out.
you
Thanks.
kind of wake up first, and then within just a few minutes, you're kind of gathering yourself, and 4 green orbs fall from the sky down and land directly on the hull of the boat. And through the steam whistle that you kind of hear, and the loudness of the steam engines and the paddle boats, and just the paddles going through the water, you just hear the whistling of a voice you've never heard before, that is on kind of the top deck, and he just sounds like he's in a good mood and just enjoying life. But if you were to wait here watching these green orbs fall, when they touch down to the deck, they take the form of your 3 friends. So you guys are all in just a raw form of who you are. On Leah, there does seem to be 2 green orbs that look like tiny griffins. You look down, and with what items you have on your person, you look kind of like the armor you were wearing, it's just not real. And there's a small pouch that your pseudo dragon came with, and basically went with you, essentially, as it was beholden to you. And then for you, Kiddis, the fluffy flame on your shoulder kind of takes the form of Philo, that just seems like he wanted to come along for the adventure, and he seems to kind of just be like exploring whenever you see him at this point.
Also, where's Atlas? Atlas was still in my bag.
He is at your feet.
Okay.
So anything that was alive on your person, he is still tiny. He is a tiny little armored knight with like a long sword or a great sword the length of his body. You can actually see him more solidly here, believe it or not. And little bugs that kind of come, like ghost bugs that come along, that come near you, you see him jumping from like between your feet and like stabbing down and killing these little ghost bugs that kind of skitter around you. And that's kind
He's
of
a little
what you see.
gentleman.
He's protecting Mom.
Aww. He's my grandbaby then.
It's a weird family tree.
Yeah. But when Cedar kind of sees the pseudo dragons there, she just kind of holds it like, oh gosh, I'm sorry. And then when the rest kind of form, she's just kind of looking at them for a second, like stunned that they're here. Hi. Oh no, you're not supposed to be here.
Huh? Well, yes, I paid the toll.
Dead. I'm dead. But you weren't. No, you didn't. Oh, this is my fault.
Mom,
No, it isn't.
why? Mom, dying is not that bad. I actually feel happier like this than I ever did in my body.
Concerning, but I don't know if I have the resources to deal with that at this moment.
Cedar, we tried to bring you back. We did everything we could. In the end, I reached out to Equifania, and this was the way to do it. I'm guessing it was all super vague, but look, the point is we're here, and we want to help you get back.
Thank you. I don't know what happened. One minute we were just standing there watching Leah, and then the next I'm getting grabbed. And, ugh. And then I'm here, and oh, gosh, Leah, I don't know what all just happened. Are you okay?
I mean, I technically just sold my soul, so you owe me. But otherwise, yes.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Kiddos, roll a perception.
Yay! Mind you, while you guys were talking, Kiddis has just now started wandering up to the captain. Of course. 23.
You catch a glimpse of an imprint. So the forms that you guys are seeing are direct reflections of who you guys are, but almost like a ghostly green light is just emanating from your persons. And being as the only person who would probably recognize it, you see an imprint on Cedar's chest, and it is in maps right now. So you see this kind of on her chest,
I know that symbol.
between, say, the bosom and the throat, essentially, just
chaos.
right there, imprinted on her person. And it's not something you've seen on her before, but you recognize it. Because as a child, you spent a lot of time in a crypt with all of the symbols that were crossed out, and instead were replaced by this symbol.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Do you know who it is and what it is? Cedar knows.
Yeah, it's low.
Okay.
I remember.
We remember now.
Oh dear.
You remember this.
What do you see, Kiddis?
Huh? Well, I think whenever souls are bound to a god, they get an imprint. Yours is for Wolf. I'm gonna go talk to the captain.
What does that mean? Oh, what am I gonna do? I thought I had time to figure that out.
Oh, no, it just means that that's where your soul's. It's like a. The way I understand it, it's like a postage. It's kind of like that's the address, and that's where you're getting dropped off.
I go to Wolf.
I think you have your whole judgment thing before you go to her, unless she just snatches you up beforehand.
I mean, but what the heck was that up there? That got us down here. If not that, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, and I'm scared.
It's okay.
You got it.
And what if, like, I don't want you guys to have to deal with Lolth of all. I mean,
I do realize that she had my soul first.
yeah, and now she doesn't.
Kiddis
We
has
already got
literally
shot at
been.
once.
Kiddis has literally been talking about killing Lolth since, well, for as long as I can remember.
Suppose you're right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to the captain.
Okay then.
Right. Hey Doku, I just shot you a message.
Cedar, are you alright?
I don't know. I'm confused. I'm scared that I died because I've been trying to avoid that for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, as most people do. So, and I feel bad that you all are now down here as well, because from what it seems like, it wasn't going for you all. And I know that you're always telling me that you all want to help me, but I feel bad dragging you into disaster after disaster.
You're not dragging me into this. I literally fell into this because I couldn't bear the thought of leaving you.
Thank you.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're worth paying any price for. The
Kind of
second
selfishly,
Aquabang
I'm
is
glad
said
I'm not alone right now.
too. It feels weird being
Bet.
dead.
Yeah.
I feel, you know, when a part of your arm or leg falls asleep, and there's that tingling.
Yeah.
I feel like my whole body fell asleep.
Ugh. I mean, in
Yeah.
a sense, it did. If you think about it.
I just realised I'm actually dead.
And
And
coming
I
to
bet
terms with that as well, that's kind of crazy.
Well, I'm betting that a certain someone didn't even bat an eye.
Oh. Hey, if you want, we can try to see. I don't know if I still have Argos down here, but I can see if I know we were
Let's just
going
focus
to.
on one thing at a time.
Okay. Argos, you there? I just want to see if he's there so I know what's going on.
Your eye glows green, but you can't hear him.
Hear him.
You can't?
No. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, you haven't got a dead uncle whispering to you
Yeah.
from beyond the grave. That's
Kind of nice to be the only one. It's kind of nice to not have to deal with him right now, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, taking from somebody who had voices screaming in his head for months on end, having the quiet, it's nice.
We'll have to go spy on your dad later then. Oh, and I just had a great thought that I wish I hadn't. Okay. We might run into people that we sent here.
Well, we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Maybe the Shadowfell's big enough I won't have to see either of them.
And sorry, are y'all done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Oh, unless you had something to
No,
say.
no. That's
No, if y'all
absolutely
have more
fine.
to do, go ahead and do it.
Well,
Yeah, go for it.
If you're finished, Sophie, we'll move on. I'm not gonna.
No, I'm good for
sit around-
whatever.
I'm not gonna sit up and take the entire session doing RP. Seriously, Rain, go for it.
Whenever Rain's done, I want to talk to the captain.
All right, GM rotation calls. Roleplay done. Leah, go.
Alright. So Leah's going to I would assume she was probably what, like 15 feet away from this conversation as it was happening?
You
Something
overheard
like that?
it all, yeah. That wouldn't be a problem. Unless you actively walked away.
So I will say Leah's gonna walk up as they're like wrapping up, and just put a hand on Gale's shoulder and kind of lead him away and go, I'm gonna steal you for just a moment.
Yeah, sure.
And she's gonna walk over maybe towards the end, like the front of the ship, and she's gonna pull up 2 crates and just sit down on one of them and kind of gesture for Gale to sit on the other.
Holy crap, that's a big thing of water.
Wow. Nice.
Hello, Sam Regal.
Right. But does Gale take a seat?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he takes a seat, she's just gonna look him dead in the eyes with like the most serious look he has ever seen on her face, and say, I just need 3 words. 3 words from you, and I might be able to fix this. So tell me, do you love her?
What?
Do you love her?
I think so.
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Leah, I've never felt the way that I've felt for Cedar before
I know.
about anybody, and
I know. I don't take any offense. Just answer the question.
yes, I do.
Okay. And Doku, overrule this if it happens in a different way, but I will say the moment you say the word do, Leah disappears.
What? What?
The fuck?
What?
Mechanically, how? What's the idea?
Leah, as Leah disappears, she reappears in front of the throne. And she turns around and she takes a seat. And she goes, and she says
don't you
out
dare.
loud to herself, I think I can fix this.
Okay, so so with your connection, I will say that you did kind of fade, and it's not so much as a physical connection, but like you are still the green spirit. Kind of think of it as like an astral projection of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of disappeared and re-vanished. You didn't really necessarily have a body to go back to, but you did have a connection to your place. So I will say that you can astrally project to your domain specifically, which is why this works, for sure.
Yeah.
So you are taking a moment upon your throne. Did you want me to switch to Kiddis while she talks to the captain for a minute?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Leah vanishes for a moment from the ship, only to kind of return, but you guys don't know this, to essentially her domain, much like BBGs and stuff can take legendary actions as long as they're within their domicile place, right? And this is that connection of power that she has. But anyway, that's out of game. 2 game, you have Kiddis walking up to a whistling captain. He's like, and he's just partying. Every once in a while, he kind of points, and a spear with a chain on it plucks a soul out of the river and lands onto the boat. And he kind of, the lower decks are crowded, and with just murmurs of voices that you can kind of hear in confusion. But you guys are on the kind of upper deck near where the captain is, with no other wandering souls.
Are all souls green?
Mostly.
Atlas is blue. She kind of points to I'm at her feet.
I mean, what is color aside from a hue of or a depiction in a physical eye? I mean, a soul can be green mostly, but that's just how you see it now. I mean, I've seen a blue soul, a red soul. It just depends on what you want to be when you pass.
Can I be pink?
You can be pink. Just think pink thoughts.
She starts thinking pink thoughts.
And your physical hue goes
Starts
from
thinking
an
pink
opaque green to
Hi, Barbie.
a kind of pale sky opaque pink.
He starts dancing around on it, the ship. You know, I've died a couple times, but I never actually made it all the way here. But I guess I didn't have die in a limbo though.
Yeah, well, like I said, you die with your body, and I kind of created that place temporarily to figure out what was going on. But for the most part, I collect souls and start y'all on your journey.
Now, if a soul doesn't get lost, do they go straight to their god, or like you said that they had to go through some sort of judgment thing? Did they go through like the Shadowfell through the judgment thing, and who's determines on if they succeed or not?
Well, you really just want to know all the ins and outs of the way the world works, don't you, little curious thing, don't you? Well, since you asked, and I haven't had a good conversation in a while, I'll explain the ground rules for you. And I'll even do it for free. I'm not into this gambling and making costs and imprints that the rest of these folks down here do. So, normally a soul dies, right? Soul leaves the body, you come to me, I collect you. You're normally lost unless you go directly to a deity of your choosing. If you dedicate your life, sometimes you go to the Feywild, sometimes you come here, but normally the normal folks like you and me, we pop down to Shadowfell for a spell. Get picked up by Charon, Sharon, Chiron, whatever you want to say it, however you want to say it, but I'm just a collector, you see, and I collect a great deal, many people and many things. In fact, I was quite busy the day you blew up that city. I had almost 200,000 lost souls I had to pluck out the river in one day, but...
Sorry.
But it's alright, a job's a job. You know, they say you never work a day in your life as long as you love what you do, and I love my boat. I tell you. So, how it normally works is we hit the river for a little while, and you can kind of get a lay of the land. And you'll be on your journey. Your journey will lead you to the Judgment Gates. You pass through the Judgment Gates, and you'll either stay in Shadowfell for a while in your own little pocket of heaven. You can go to the Feywild, to your own little pocket of wildness, or you can be reborn in the land of the mortal realm. But only if your soul weighs less than a feather, they say. I've never faced judgment myself. They put me right to work when I got here. So, any questions so far? Are you keeping up?
I think so. So you come here if you're lost, but then most people just go straight to the gate. They go through the realm, they get to the gate judges the person judges them, and then they go on their way to either a god, either Shadowfell, Feywild, or back to the
So far, close enough. Now, the journey is the fun part, you see. Now, down here, you'll be tempted by a great deal many that just want to garner your power as a soul, because you see, souls have plenty of power. The manipulation of how many souls and who is in your domain is kind of how much power you got down here. Now, it's been quite a ruckus since the old old god came back, who used to run a lot of this domain, and he recently got free from his abyssal prison. Someone summoned him to the mortal plane, and he came right back down here to kind of get his plot back of land. But his plot was owned by a great deal many people, so now there's a couple of fights going on for it. But that's none of your business, really. You'll be on your journey once I drop you off a port. Now, your port journey will lead you from here to the gates, and you will be kind of going through on your own adventure, right? Some people get lost again, get picked up, get collected, fall in with the ranks of normal, but if you make it to the line, then yes, you face judgment. But getting there is really half the battle down here. So, again, taking all the information you could get, and I'll see you off to port not too long from now.
One last thing. Do you know of my friends? They travel sometimes during the night in the mortal plane back down here. to help collect.
So your friends, you say, and who might your friends be?
The boat was called the Sated Contessa.
Say to Contessa.
Oh yeah,
Boat that
we all partners in crime every now and again. They kind of hit the horizon. They make my job a little easier every now and again. So yeah, we work hand in hand, but their connection's a little bit higher up than mine.
That's cool. I'm glad they're hopefully doing well.
And they are indeed. Now you see, their domain. It's part of the crew, part of the ship. Their whole domain is just the ship, and everyone kind of leaves them alone because they're moving pretty quick. Now you see something really fun little mist that water that there myself. That's my domain. I own this river and everything on it. So some might say I'm the strongest creature in Shadowfell. It kind of gives you a little wink.
That's really cool. My grandfather wouldn't necessarily tell me anything. He always said that me dying was important, but he never really told me what it was like.
Well, I assume that your grandfather, based off of that old little imprint, and he kind of wipes away at your chest the residual of the little symbol. And he's like, you were owned by someone down here for a little while, it seems, but not anymore. So your death was important because you probably were fated down to come down south here and just join the ranks of Lothy, I'd say. Poor girl's having a hell of a time right now.
What's up?
How so? Well, you see, since, what do you call him, Tempest? Old man Tempest came back. He's taken back his plot. Part of that belonged to the Raven Queen. Part of that plot belonged to Loth. But Loth, you see, she's a young god, really, compared to the rest of us down here. She's having a hell of a time keeping her domain, so she's recalling all of her soldiers, like your friend over there, to try to come fight on her behalf. But your friend fought tooth and nail without consent, so I guess I gotta find her, 'cause she got lost in the scuffle, so to speak.
So that's why she summoned her now. Wolf had left me alone for quite a while, so I was really confused on why she also yanked her down.
Well, you see, you guys are young souls, not live the world very long. Old souls tend to be
Older
a lot
souls-
stronger.
Oh. Well, grandfather still must be pretty powerful then. He's lived a long time.
You'd be surprised how much your grandfather gave away and why he had to garnish deals with his grandchildren. That's neither here nor there. I haven't seen him in a good while.
Thank you for talking with me. It's always so hard to learn more about this place.
Thank you for talking to me. It's really a thankless job.
Is it okay if I stay up here and watch for a while?
Feel free. If
Till we get there?
you have any questions between now and the port, you just let me know. I'll be more than happy to take care of you, little miss. Thank you for the conversation.
She giggles and just starts looking around and just enjoying the view.
I think when oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying we can cut over to one of you guys now.
Oh, I was wondering while Leah is talking with Gale, I kind of want to have Cedar just kind of slowly make her way up to the captain, kind of maybe get there after Kiddis is done with the conversation.
Sure. I'll say you probably overheard a lot of this. It's not the biggest boat in the entire world. It's really only like 140 feet end to end, so any conversations you can kind of hear in the silence. Aside from the groans you hear from below deck, it's pretty quiet overall, so you probably heard most of it walking up. But yeah.
Sir?
Yes, little man. How you doing today?
I mean, I died, so not great.
But really, what is death aside from another stage of passing on? I mean, how many times have
Well,
you
it
died
was
before?
It was about a gajillion hands grabbing me at once, and I don't like being touched by strangers.
Touched by strangers, you funny. That ain't your worst death from what I can tell. It kind of looks you up and down.
I mean, I've had a couple, but this one's the most recent, so yeah, this one hurts at the moment.
Yeah, first one, a cedar.
What?
I said it's your first death, a cedar. Technically your second. Funny how fate has a way of naming you twice in the same life. Different lives, same name. Just kind of ironic. I think he's lazy. Doesn't like to keep track of many folk, so it names them the same thing whenever they're born. You know what I mean?
I mean, now I have a lot of questions as to what you mean, but I actually wanted to ask you something specific.
Yeah, I guess. I'm all ears.
Do you remember the souls that you ferried down?
Most of them. Not a lick of them escapes this old trap.
A while ago, sorry, time's been a little weird lately, so I can't give an exact date. There would have been a male owlin about 18. His name was Strix.
Want to know a little secret? Time is a human construct because they don't understand eternity. Mind blown. Yeah, I remember the old coot. He was a riot. Complained more than the rest of them.
Where did he go? Is he okay?
Well, he started his journey. I dropped him off the port like the rest of them. He was fine when I left him. Where he went from there is up to him. He might be in line for judgment. Be waiting a while, given the judgment got punished for a couple months, couple years, couple eternities. But I had a feeling you had a hand in that too, but that's neither here nor there. She's the one who left her post, so it's kind of her own fault. Bit immature like your friend over there, but just as fun.
Just giggles when she hears this.
I'm guessing that means my dad's somewhere around here too.
Problem. How long he go?
Time was really weird, but he died from the Hag Island.
Yeah, a little more recent.
A little more recent.
What was his name?
I gotta remember what his name was. Give me a sec. It's been so long since I've seen that Google Doc. Crap, where is this? Aha! Wait, I think I found it. Ascalphus Nictea. There we go.
Yay!
Ascalphus, huh?
Pretentious name, I know.
Nah, he must have been a local. He never hit the river.
Ah.
Probably went straight home.
Well, I'm glad that he's at peace then.
Well, it depends on what they got.
I don't want to ask this, but I feel like I should just to check all my bases. And I'm not annoying you with the questions, am I?
Not at all. I haven't had a good conversation in a millennia.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah, well, usually folks don't come down here with their bodies too often, so it's a unique experience, you know?
Two more people I have questions about. One of them, yeah, another Owlin, third Owlin in the list, but this one's not related to me. Silvico Caleris, please tell me he's dead.
No, he hadn't died again since the last time he was reborn. He probably still up there.
What? Oh! Well, that is an awful lot to digest.
Digesting.
I thought we...
He kind of looks up.
I thought...
You're doing that right now.
I don't even want to know what that means, but I thought we killed him. Did we not kill him?
Can you not kill what that can't die? Like a germ, right?
That's... Okay, last question. I gotta power through this one. This one's a tiefling. Calius Tannen. Is he dead?
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh,
That boy.
which is both bad because I might run into him, but good because at least we got one.
Nah, he fell in probably with the lower ranks. I don't see him facing judgment any day soon. He probably hit the ground running here, sprinting for the first little man to pick him up. Little weakling such as him. He's cutie.
So there's like rankings of souls?
I mean, depending how much power you have, but honestly, yeah, you have your domain owners, your gods down here that kind of Really, a god's worth is by their souls that they collect. So all these souls are headed towards judgment, and the little scods down here pluck them off, and every soul they get, the domain gets a little bit bigger.
So, out of curiosity and to ignore the fact that one of my greatest enemies is still up and kicking, where are me and my friends on the power scale? I mean, I have the idea that Leah just massively rocketed up the rankings.
No, you're about the same. I mean, you weigh not too much. In fact, she's probably a little bit weaker than you, if we're going to be honest about it. You see, she allowed herself to be tainted, whereas your morality stays intact, despite doing bad things. Leah, your friend Leah, I'm assuming you're talking about, she might be strong physically, but emotionally she crumbles under pressure. And by emotionally, I just mean the reflection of her feelings on her soul. She's conflicted. See, she does evil, isn't evil. Hasn't really cleaned herself up just yet. Her judgment's gonna be a long one. You'll be waiting in line for a good long while with her. If you make it.
So, I'm a good person?
I didn't go that far.
I'm not a bad person.
I'm just saying you know you did wrong when you did wrong. The lines never got mixed.
Okay. Honestly, that's really good to hear.
I hope so.
What about Kittis' soul? Out of curiosity, because I still can't figure her out. I love you to death. Oh gosh, I made a pun. That was unintentional. Just the nervous laughter.
Not a power in the verse can figure her out. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
I say she could probably fall in with some nice good rankings down here. Her home seems where the heart is, right? They say that home is where the heart is. I see her heart exploring this place a little bit deeper than most.
That does sound like her.
Yeah. No need
and I'm guessing out of the four of us, Gail's got the best soul.
It's hard to say. Might even have the worst.
What? That can't be right.
Well, you see, a lot of souls are just a makeup of amalgamation of their folks, right? His folks, his father was a piece of work.
I mean, both my parents were pieces of work.
Yeah, but his father was
my
a piece
mom's
of work.
soul's right over there. I mean, it's a pseudo dragon now, but it.
Well, your parents weren't pieces of work on the celestial scale, you see.
Yeah.
You'll find that your understanding and construct of things are jaded down here at best. You'll figure it out, though. You tend to be smart. Sometimes.
Okay, well, thank you. That was a lot of information and a lot to take in at once, but I appreciate the answers. We don't really get straightforward answers very much, do we, Kittis?
Huh? Oh no, most people don't like to.
And you see, in the moment you're wrapping up the conversation, you see his smile turn to a frown. And he kind of looks back, and Leah is missing. And he just kind of his tongue for a second. Well, I got a couple more problems to go take care of now, little miss. You enjoy the ride for a little bit, and I'll have you on your next stop in a jiffy. And he kind of also.
Thank you.
And he kind of tips his little hat. It's a solid white hat with just a red ribbon around it. He kind of tips it and also vanishes. And we'll cut to Leah. I got a couple more minutes, so let's figure out what we're doing.
Chair's creaking, so I'm really sorry if you can hear my chair creaking.
So you are sitting upon you're basically astral projecting yourself without a body into your chair. What is your intent?
I'm basically trying to take up the mantle as judgment to judge my own party members and try and basically rig it to judge them as good to send them back.
Hmm.
Or just basically using my powers as judgment to say, like, these souls aren't supposed to be here yet.
That's kind of fun.
Take them back.
Roll an Arcana for me. Or Arcana in history.
Okay. Okay, that is a 24 Arcana, 18 history.
Okay.
God, I love having a half decent modifier.
So it dodges you for now, but a giant green spear thunks right next to your head, attached to a chain, and it seems to kind of be dragged down into the ground, and then from it, on the other side of a chain, you see the dapper gentleman in his red pinstripe vest pull the chain back and grab his spear. Yeah. I don't miss too often, Lost Soul. You've already kind of abandoned this place and came down with me. You can't cheat the system. So I'll tell you
I'm
what.
not cheating the system.
Going Leah spearfishing.
You want the job? Is that what you want? Because
I want the job I signed up for.
You want the job you signed up for, and he kind of, your contract appears in his hand and be like, the job you signed up for is to be the anchor between worlds, to rebuild your family and to create a harmonious balance of the world, to undo the celestial compass and rebuild the tree. Can't do that from the judgment gates, but I understand that you want to try. You want to quit your job, you need to find a replacement.
I don't want to quit my job. If I want to do my job, I need those three with me.
Want to know a little bit of a secret?
Sure.
You can bypass the gates. You can skip the line. You
Okay.
can keep your friends. But you're going to have to make a friend stronger than judgment. Good luck.
Right.
Wait, you said? And he kind of leans in really close
No.
and puts his ear to your mouth.
He said like. As in like who?
Like who? Well, there's plenty of friends that you'll meet along the way, but you can't get out of the journey. Spear stabs you straight into the chest. You hit the deck of the steamboat. The steam paddles ring in your ears as it's just a high-pitched ring, and you open your eyes, and there's Gale right above you at your feet. And that'll be where we end the session.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna
Six
spiritual
times.
pillow for about half an hour, I think.